Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. Sunday, Week 14 previews. We only got two on the docket, two Western Conference matchups. Let's go take a look at them. All right, so we're going to start Week 14's Sunday preview off with the earlier kickoff. We have a 7:05 p.m. Central Time kickoff on the Indoor Football League Network, and I alluded to this one in Week 14's Saturday preview. This might be game of the week, and if you're a Jacksonville fan, yesterday was game of the week since your team won. Spoiler alert, I guess, but yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, so I'm not salty. I'm not mad. A little bit, but anyway, this is probably the game of the week if you're on the Western Conference side of things. The 7-4 Arizona Rattlers taking on the 8-2 Bay Area Panthers, and this is a doozy. Arizona's coming in on a losing streak. Bay Area, they still look really, really good. Let's talk about it. We have the season leaders passing yards. It's Dalton Sneed and Josh Jones. Dalton Sneed, 170, if I can get my words out of my mouth, Jesus. 170, 289, 1,894 yards, 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Josh Jones, 122 of 196, 1,334 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. In the rushing category, Ron Brown Jr., 78 carries, 373 yards, 16 touchdowns, and Josh Jones, 112 carries, 426 yards, and 12 rushing touchdowns. Over to our receiving leaders, Isaiah Houston, 52 catches, 677 yards, 10 touchdowns, and Josh Tomas, 35 catches, 422 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns through the air. Looking at our injury report, just a couple of players to add. Arizona has Rashee Hodge added to the short-term injured reserve, but they have taken Jermaine Dobbs off of the short-term injured reserve themselves. So kind of a tit-for-tat thing. One defensive back goes on, one comes off. For Bay Area, a new addition, and it's kind of the same thing. One wide receiver off, one wide receiver on. Tyrese Chambers has been taken off of short-term injured reserve, and Javian Bellamy, a new signee. He just got signed this past week and has already been put on short-term injured reserve. So kind of weird how that happens. Not gonna speculate on anything, but you know, it's kind of weird how he's signed and then automatically injured. So yeah, we'll go from there. Over-under of 95.5 is our betting total, and a -6.5 in favor of Bay Area at home. -225 for the Panthers on the money line, and +185 if you want the upset on the road for the Rattlers. We are at the SAP Center in San Jose, California, and our series head-to-head 4-3 in favor of the Rattlers, getting the victory just a couple weeks ago, 53-48. Nice little back and forth affair that they had there. Arizona ends up pulling out the victory. So with that, let's go take a look at our 25-man roster, bet and prediction. We have another preview after this one. All right, so 25-man rosters popping up over my face. Let's take a look at the away side first. Dalton Sneed and Jaime Magalhae are going to be your quarterbacks, with Sneed being the starter. Running backs Marquez Cooper and Ron Brown Jr. Wide receivers include Jamal Miles, Johannes Tyler, Isaiah Houston, Corey Reed Jr., and Trey Dixon. Offensive line includes Bryson Mays, Christopher Strader, Cordell Brewster, and Lamar Mady. On the defensive side of the ball, Kevin Sims Jr., Isaiah Coe, James Nimwaya, and Jalen Bass. Linebacker being Jalen Campbell, and onto the secondary for the Rattlers, Jermaine Dobbs, Devontae Merriweather, Deontay Overstreet, Otjo Soe, I believe that's how it's pronounced, Amari Alexander, and Ethan Castleberry. Your kicker is Dawson Evans. Over to Bay Area, Josh Jones and Liam Thompson are your quarterbacks, Josh Jones being your starter. Wide receivers, they do not use a running back. Your wide receivers, Josh Tomas, Tosin Oyekanmi, Tyrese Chambers, BK Smith Jr., Trayvon Alexander, and Trey Goodman. We'll see Tomas is normally that guy that sits in the backfield, kind of runs the ball a little bit. They do it with Oyekanmi every so often too, so we'll see how that goes. Offensive line, Christian Coulter, Sidney Walker, Jamie Navarro, and Delvin Salter. And onto the defensive side, Tavon Grant, Jonathan Ross, Morris Joseph, and EJ Anai for that defensive line. Linebackers include BJ Tafalele and Wes Bowers. And in the secondary for Bay Area, Trey Meadows, Tyler Watson, Joe Fouché, Frankie West Jr., Landry Mavungu, Tyrese Wright, with your kicker being Axel Perez. And that is your 25-man roster for Arizona, your 25-man roster for Bay Area. And with that, let's go take a look at our bet and prediction as we chug along and try and go just a little bit deeper, talk about how this game might go, might not go, because I've been wrong a lot. So let's go take a look at it. All right, bet and prediction time, and I hope you guys faded every single one of my bets yesterday, because, oh boy, we are not good. We're not good. So what I'm about to say here is going to backfire, because I know it will, but under 95.5, just bet the over. Just bet the over. I will give you a reason why I think it's going to go under 95, and it starts with the defense. Bay Area's defense is pretty good, and Arizona's defense not so good, but hopefully I'm hoping that they can kind of step up in this one. They need to stop the bleeding, which is leading me to think that maybe this is a game where Arizona and Bay Area can kind of duke it out, tire each other out, and whoever kind of makes the last mistake is going to give the other team the opportunity to win here. So with that being said, bet the over 95.5. This will be a shootout. This will be a shootout. Both teams are going to throw for a lot of yards. But no, I hope this game goes under. We need a damn win. But yeah, that's just kind of where I have it. 95.5 is a lot of points, and it took Arizona hitting the over 90 last week. It took them 3 overtimes to get it. Now, they would have gotten it within the first couple of overtimes had both teams scored, regardless, what have you. But 95 is still a lot of points. We know both these teams can score points, and they probably will. But I do think this game can be a little bit closer than what, -6.5. So if you want to maybe take Arizona plus on the spread, you can. Maybe, I'm not sure. This is just, I'm rattled. I'll tell you that much. I am rattled when it comes to this betting stuff. My prediction, I'm just going to go to my prediction here, 43-42 in favor of Arizona. They have to get the monkey off their back. If they drop to 7-5, heads are going to roll in Glendale. I will tell you that much. And for Bay Area to knock them off and go to 9-2, it pretty much, not automatically, but it pretty much secures them the 1 seed in the West. Stranger things have happened, but it kind of promotes that right there. So I think both defenses can get after it. Snead's going to have a heck of a time against that defense, and if Arizona's defense can step up, pressure Josh Jones, and really kind of disrupt that passing game and force them to run the ball a little bit, they are good at running. Bay Area is good at running, but if you can do that and make Bay Area one-dimensional, you do not want them to be balanced. You do not want them to be, we're going to throw it, we're going to run it, you have to guess which way. If you can kind of make them more one-dimensional, regardless of what that is. But I look at that wide receiving core for Bay Area, getting Tyrese Chambers back. Obviously, Tomas is still deadly in the passing game. You look at BK Smith is starting to come into his own. Away economy is really good, and you can't even leave out Trayvon Alexander or anyone else. It's very, very good. On the other side, if you run with Ron Brown, Dalton Snead, we'll see what Marquez Cooper's capable of. But again, the running game is pretty good. You need that wide receiving core to really, really step up here as well against that defensive Bay Area with Tyler Watson and Joe Fouché. It is going to be a slugfest. It will be. At least I'm hoping so. At least for the under's sake. But that's where we have it, under 95.5. 43-42, Arizona pulls the upset, and I'm not confident in it. Otherwise, I would have taken Arizona on the money line, but they'll just kind of go from there. Not shocked at all if Bay Area wins. I expect them to, but you got to start pulling for some upsets here, and a lot of upsets happened. I just didn't call them yesterday. So, yeah, spoiler alert there. Anyway, let's go take a look at our last preview. All right, our second and final Sunday preview. 8:05 p.m. Central Time kickoff on the Indoor Football League Network. The 3-8 San Antonio Gunslingers taking on the 7-4 San Diego Strike Force out in San Diego. This was a very fun game the first time these two teams met this season, and yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second. But if those fireworks can, be replicated, we should be in for one heck of a night. Let's take a look at our season leaders. Joaquin Collazo, 122 of 225, 1,433 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. Nate Davis, 144 of 233, 1,517 yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Keyshawn Harper, 67 carries, 199 yards, one away from 200, 4 touchdowns. Edward Vander, 79 carries, 309 yards, 13 touchdowns. Naquan Murray, 47 catches, 655 yards, and 14 touchdowns. And Dallas Daniels, 30 catches, 328 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Taking a look at our injury report, only one person to add, and that is for San Antonio. My goodness. That is for San Antonio. Jack Daly has been added for the short-term injured reserve list. Strike Force don't really have anyone of note in the last week or so, and that's kind of where we have it. Moving over to our game odds, we have an over-under of 82.5, and we have a minus 6.5 in favor of San Diego at home. So plus 180 for San Antonio on the road, minus 218 for San Diego straight up on the money line. We are in the Front Wave Arena, Oceanside, California, 8:05 p.m. Central Time kickoff. And as I alluded to earlier, a very, very fun game last time these two teams met. Week 9, San Antonio getting the win, 49-48, after a missed drop kick extra point that would have given San Diego the win had Ernesto Lacayo hit it. So this one should provide, hopefully, a lot of fireworks if everything goes according to plan from what happened in the last game. If they can replicate that, it should be good. But let's go see the players that are going to play in this one. Take a look at our 25-man roster, bet and prediction. We'll get out of here. All right, let's take a look at the 25-man rosters as they pop up over my face, starting with the away side first for San Antonio. Zach Reeder and Joaquin Collazo are your quarterbacks, Collazo being the starter, Reeder being the backup, Keyshawn Harper being the running back. In the wide receiving stable, Glenn Gibbons, Callie Rashad, Austin Upshaw, Naquan Murray, and Logan Collier. Offensive line includes McQuail Harvey, Matthew Burrell, Quan Stallworth, Joel Galvin, and LaColby Tucker. Moving to the defensive side, Austin Collier, Warren Thomas, and Justin Sykes on that defensive line. Linebackers include Hassan Black and Ricky Wyatt, and in the secondary are Various Rivers, Clifton Duck, Christoph Page, Kyle Myers, Mike Miller, and Lakeith Murray as a new signee for this week. Kicker is Tyler Huddle. Moving over to the offensive side for San Diego, Rudy Johnson and Nate Davis at quarterbacks. Nate Davis will be your starter. Rudy Johnson he'll get in. He's played a little bit in the last couple of games ever since he was the starter, but he's been used kind of sparingly since, so we'll see how that goes. Running backs include Edward Vander and Trayvon Van, Dallas Daniels, Jalen Sample, John Maldonado, and Javian Lofton Wilson for the wide receiving core. And your offensive line is Christian Olmstead, Jalen Booth, Josh Castro, and Jake Sines. Over to the defensive side, Wallace Cowens, Jaquez Maben, Afanye Maye, Kurat Garland, and Jackson Cravens for that defensive line. Linebacker is Royce C. And in the secondary for San Diego, Cyrus Fagan, Devin Hafford, Tariq Lewis, Eugene Ford, Atoa Fox, and Elijah Reed. Your kicker being Ernesto Lacayo. And that is your 25-man roster for San Antonio, your 25-man roster for San Diego. And with that, let's go take a look at our bet and our prediction. And we just get out of here after that one. All right, bet and prediction time for this one. I have plus 6.5 for San Antonio. And like I said in the other preview, go ahead and fade this one. My betting has not been up to par this week, so go ahead and fade it. I guess take minus 6.5 or whatever you guys need to do. But no, to try and talk my way into this one, plus 6.5 for San Antonio. They have played well. They're not getting the results, but it all stems on this offense. Can San Antonio put up points? There are times in the very beginning of the season that they were not putting up points, and now the offense is kind of stalled out again. We need San Antonio to come back down to earth. I guess they have, but we need them to go back into orbit, I guess is what I'm saying. We need them to start scoring some points, and that's where my faith in this one kind of goes. If the defense for San Antonio can hold Nate Davis and company, you've got a decent secondary. Mike Miller, Clifton Duck, Various Rivers. If the pressure can get there, whether it's Hassan Black or whether it's Ricky Wyatt, whoever's that starting linebacker, they do not have a lot of depth on that defensive line. So what you're going to need is that team to play really stellar on the defensive side of the ball. We know Nate Davis can carve up defenses. That's where I'm putting the challenge to this one. Plus 6.5. I'm hoping San Antonio can put up points. Yes, they are on the road. Yes, they are 3-8, but this is an opportunity for them to kind of get the sweep here when it comes to San Diego. If they can pull out a victory, that'd be great. I don't necessarily see it. My prediction for this one, 44-40 in favor of San Diego. And it goes to the other side. I think San Antonio can keep it close. Maybe it can be a backdoor cover. I'm not sure. But I do like what I see with what San Diego has done, adding some, firepower to the running game with Edward Vander, with Trayvon Van. Rudy Johnson has been used sparingly, and they did have to make somewhat of a comeback in Northern Arizona last week in that controversial win. But at the same time, the way that San Diego's defense is kind of played, if they can kind of stop the passing game, we know that San Antonio doesn't really run the ball too much. They do run the ball a little bit, but once they get out to a deficit or like the other team has the lead, they kind of abandon the run game. Very rarely, Collazo will scramble. He might have, some lanes that he has open that he has to take off. If he rolls out of the pocket, feels the pressure, stuff like that. But there's not a lot of too many design runs. Like, they will run Harper. They will have Collazo on a couple of draws or some rollouts or things like that, but very rarely are they running it. Like, they will, but they won't, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it's not like they're going to be like 4 rushing attempts like Iowa, but at the same time, the 19 or 20 rushing attempts, some of those might be some scrambles. So we'll see how that goes if San Diego's defense is up to the challenge of really pressuring Joaquin Collazo. We know he can throw interceptions, but I'm putting my faith in San Antonio here. If this offense can work it, they might not win it, but they can cover, and that really helps. So plus 6.5, 44-40 for this one. San Diego takes it. And with that, let's wrap everything up. Let's get out of here. And that is it for our Sunday preview for Week 14. And with just the 2 games on tap, we are looking forward to Week 15. There's 6 games for that, and then a well-deserved Week 16 with the 4th of July weekend. And I'll tell you, the burnout is real, guys. If it seems like in the last couple of weeks, probably including this one too, it seems like I've been a little off or a little not all present or going through the motions, it's probably because I have been. I have felt the burnout like crazy. I try not to do the no days off kind of thing, having to catch back up from being sick like a month ago or whatever it was. It's taken a huge toll. So the end of the year here cannot get, the end of the season, I guess, cannot get here quick enough. And when I say I love and appreciate you guys, I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. It does mean a lot for you guys to watch these. It does mean a lot for you guys to interact and provide the feedback, albeit positive or negative. I have thick skin. I can take criticism. It's fine. But it does mean a lot as a one-man crew who does all of these graphics. And I'm not a wizard when it's a lot of copy and pasting when it comes to writing down the stats, or when it comes to, the injury reports or the rosters or whatever. It's a lot of copy and paste. So it still takes a lot of time, and it could be a lot more as more teams get added. They're talking 24 teams in a couple of years, and we're at 14 right now. Duke City's going to come back into things like that. So, I mean, like I said, not to get on my soapbox here, but a little bit of venting. I'm not going to lie. Nothing bad, but the burnout is there. The burnout is there, and just get through Week 15, have a well-deserved 3-game weekend for Week 16, and then hit those final 3 weeks of the season as we march towards the playoffs. So, like I said, when I say I love and appreciate you guys, I really do mean it. I really, really do mean it. I don't care about the views. When I started this channel, I did. I wanted to be the best indoor football guy. I wanted all these subscribers and to prove myself. I'm not proving anything anymore. I don't care. I don't really even look at my views like I did. Every time I looked at or posted a video, I would look at the views. I would be like, oh, I need more people to watch this. Where can I promote this? What can I do? At this point, I just stopped promoting. I do it for the love of it. I do it for everything like that. It's not a humble brag. It's not anything along those lines. It's just me saying, hey, I love talking football. I love talking to you guys, feedback, commentary, stuff like that. So it really, really means a lot for you guys to watch this stuff. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. The work that it takes to put in all of this stuff, I mean it. So there's the end of my ramble. That's the end of the Week 14 Sunday preview. I will get Week 13's second half of the recap out sometime today, and then I will start watching all the games and going in through Week 14's recaps and everything along those lines. So again, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, listen to my ramble and everything like that. So I love it. If you want to, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you don't, it doesn't bother me, man. It really doesn't. I just love posting these videos, talking indoor football. It has been a passion of mine for well over a decade. So with that, well, arena and indoor, but you get my drift. But with that, I'm going to take off here, guys. I love and appreciate every single one of you. With that being said, I will catch you guys in week, 15? Week 15. See, that's how bad it's getting. I will catch you guys in week 15. Until then, see ya.